One. Okay. Hi, good morning, everybody. This is Veronica from Chiquirucas, and we are starting our second episode with the topic of addicts for parents. First of all, I just wanted to apologize for the sound on the first episode, but we're still learning and we're fixing things along the way. So I'm going to start with a quick introduction about me. My name is Veronica, aka sometimes my friends or Tamara says that I'm Guille because I look like my mom. I grew up in East LA. I am the oldest daughter of immigrant family. Yeah. Anyway, I have a ton of siblings. I have even more uncles and cousins, and we all live in this area. And some are not that close, some are very close in relationship wise. And I have I live in my house with my husband and two boys, and that's all. I thought I had more to say. And then next on our pod is
I'll go. My name is. I have a lot of names as well. Her name is also Cabronica. She forgot that one. So my
yeah.
name is Maura. They call me Thamara, Tams, Trompuda. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Comadre.
I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles. I was born in MLK. Hey. I too am the first daughter of, I don't know if it's two immigrant parents. My dad was born in Texas, but he was raised in Sonora, Mexico, and then Tijuana too. So that's all he kind of knew. My mom is from Sinaloa. Hey.
Shout out
So she's
Sinaloa.
definitely born in Mexico. I've got two siblings, two brothers that are younger than me. Fun fact, huge age gap. My middle brother is 14 years younger than me, and my little brother is 20 years younger than me. My mom really gapped us out. But yeah, I am divorced. I've been divorced since 2005 ish, 2006 ish. I don't remember. I've got two gorgeous daughters. Raised them all by myself, no help from the father. Obviously, it takes a village. These are my comadres. They're their godmothers. Um, I got help, a lot of help from my mom, my brothers, but single nonetheless. I've been in a relationship on and off for over 12 years, and I'm engaged now. He's wonderful, but he's military, so he's militant. He doesn't like cameras, so we probably won't show him like the producer of our show. We're gonna show him.
Yeah.
And basically that's it. Single mom, first generation Mexican American, two gorgeous daughters, both in college. My oldest is starting her doctorate program in January to become a doctor of physical therapy. And then my youngest is finishing up her bachelor's and she wants to be a special ed teacher because, fun fact, both my daughters are neurospicy. My youngest has ADHD, really ADHD. And my oldest, actually, a few years ago, was diagnosed to be on the spectrum, which I always knew she was kind of, special, but now we know why. And that's all about me.
Well, good morning. I'm Jen. Don't have, I don't think my intro is going to be as long as you guys, but I am a single child. I have no siblings. I was born and, for the most part, raised most of my childhood in East LA. I was born at White Memorial Hospital.
Ooh, ooh.
Right. My father is from Mexico, so I'm very proud of my roots from there. I am newly divorced. I was
Whoop, whoop.
We
I know.
have three
So
categories:
love, right?
married a long time, divorced a long time, and newly divorced. So
Yeah,
there's
so total in I think 25 years I was in a
Wow.
wow,
relationship.
that's a long time.
I know. I know I only look 25, but yeah, it was
Of
25 years.
course, you must have
Chiquirucas.
been. Yeah,
Right?
that
Yeah,
is the
so
name of
I
the
have
game.
so I have a 19-year-old daughter who we actually adopted when she was 1. And she is also struggles with ADHD. Yeah, I mean, I'm a cancer survivor.
Oh yeah, there's
Um,
that.
there's that. Yeah.
Bravo, that's
So
huge.
yeah, thank you for joining us as we
Yes.
take off and embark on this journey.
So
Let's do
join
it all
us
together.
while we
Please
talk to
join us.
you about
Please join
our
us.
experiences. First of all, I wanted to thank the husband of the pod. I want to call him
Yes.
Smelvin.
Introducing.
Sometimes he doesn't smell all that great.
She called him Smelvin.
So,
Poor guy. Don't worry, Smelvin. You don't smell
yeah,
bad.
thank you for.
You don't.
I'll tell him you said that. But without his help, of course, this wouldn't be possible. Because
Yeah.
he put a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
and money into this endeavor. And also our graphics creator, my goddaughter, which I don't know if I want to name her name, but thank you.
Keekster.
And
We can call her
Keekster.
Keekster.
Yes, thank you, Keekster. We love our artwork and we can't wait to see more. And I'm sorry that you're going to be asked to do more for a while. Anyway, okay, so on to our topic about parents as addicts. So let's start off with, I don't know which one of you guys wants to start off.
I can start.
Okay.
So I don't have that typical, oh my God, my parent, this one was my dad. My dad was the one that had a substance abuse issues. I don't have that typical, I hate him, he destroyed my life. I actually had a very good dad. As a dad, he was amazing. I never not felt loved by him. I was I felt like I was actually closer to him, but I guess it might be the whole mom and daughter, rivalry thing that we all have. I mean, I have two of them, so like it is a thing. As women, we tend to blame our mothers for everything. And now that I have two daughters who are, I mean, they're young adults, I noticed that it's all my fault. And their dad has,
It's
well, it's
always the
different.
mom's fault.
It's all
It's
right.
Right.
Like it's
whether
When it
you
always
have
the
was not, it
daughters
is.
or
Yeah.
sons,
Mm-hmm.
it's always the mom's.
it's
Mm-hmm.
always the mom's fault. So because my dad was the non-disciplinarian, I was the princess. I had an older brother. I forgot to add my brother Junior. He had a son from a previous marriage. My dad married a few times. And there's possibly a sister roaming around who's maybe just a little bit older than me. But anyway, that would be for another podcast. But my brother Junior, so he had him. I lost my train of thought. Of course I would.
Yes, so
Um,
back to your dad being a great
my
dad.
dad, he was a great dad.
Okay.
I felt very loved, very cared for. I never felt like I lacked anything emotional from him. Now, as a husband, he obviously wasn't a good husband. He didn't really provide. My mom is the one who always financially provided for me. Um, but as a dad, he was great. Now, as a young kid, did I witness a lot of things that I shouldn't have? Yeah. I saw things in the restroom left, on the sink. I would smell things. And I don't mean Mary Jane. Um, I saw a lot of things that I shouldn't have seen. I grew up fast when it came to that. Um, but again, as a father figure, I adore him. I love my tapi. I called him my tapi because my mom says I couldn't say papi for some reason. So I added the T, tapi. So he's my tapi. And
Yeah.
you, Veronica, got to meet him before he passed. So
Yeah, it was really quick. I think I was still in the car and he just kind of came out and say hi.
yeah.
Yeah. I would have loved to stay and like talk to him because I think that you're a lot like him because you're no way close to how Alma
No.
is. And so
No.
I think you get your funny bone from your dad and your non-filter thing from your dad.
Funny fact, I don't. My dad was actually very kind. The no filter is my mom. My mom will tell you straight out what she thinks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a personality thing, a Virgo thing, or if it's just a Mexican person thing because
Oh yeah,
like
we
we,
just
you know,
say the first nasty thing or whatever thing pops into
well,
our
whatever there's no filter. If you guys
Yeah.
think about it, there's no filter to like las tías and las abuelas, like, and it's a Mexico thing, I think, because I know what I try and filter things here. Oh,
Sorry, I'm
there
right
she
here.
is. I know how to filter things. Like there's certain people that I don't filter anything with, and it's my little tiny circle. But I know how to filter. I
This
know how
is
to
her
be
tiny circle,
politically
Jen.
right. This is my tiny circle. So with you guys,
So
I don't care. I'm
so
gonna say what I want to say.
do you think that that's why your parents didn't work out was because of your dad's addiction?
Oh, 100%. My and I don't blame my mom now as an adult. I did actually no, I didn't. When I was little, I think they were like I was like 8 or 9 when they finally split up. I never wanted them to be together because there was also domestic violence there that I witnessed. And this is going to sound horrific. Horrific. I don't know if I should say it. But as a kid, now as an adult, I know no one should touch anybody. Keep your hands to yourself. But as a kid, I kind of felt like my mom deserved it. And this is the only reason why. And I know it sounds horrific. And now as an adult, I would never say that. But as a kid, my dad, when he was on one, he would warn my mom, leave me alone. Stop messing with me. And my mom would not stop. And she would degrade him because my mom is the type of person that when she's upset or fed up or just extremely angry, there's nothing that's going to stop her mouth from saying everything. There's like no filter. Like she was not scared. I am of the belief, maybe this is a Mexican thing, that as a woman, we're strong, but we're still powerless to the strength of a man. I'm
Yeah.
not, when a man is on something or just not mentally there at that moment, I'm not gonna just lash out and say, you piece of blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna trigger that person when they're not in the right state of mind. And my mom loved to do that. So I would beg her, please stop, shut up. Like, don't say anything. Leave him alone. Like, let him
Yeah.
finish whatever's going on. And she never did.
Yeah.
And that's when it would happen. So in my head, I would, as a child, why doesn't an adult, my mom,
But also your mom was 18 when she had you, or was she 19? I mean,
yes,
she was a child herself.
she was a child
So
too.
like she also
Yes.
wasn't expected to know how to deal with addiction or a person that
100%.
has
As an adult, I realized that she didn't have the capability or the resources to try and handle something like that.
Yeah.
I get that now, but as a child, I remember blaming
Yeah,
my
of
mom
course. You don't, because you're a
because,
kid. You don't know any better. You think you should know better because you're older than me. But yeah,
but as a kid, how did I know to do that? And as I mean, she was, I mean, I
because
must have been
kids
four
are
or
smart.
five. How did I know? Like, shut up, don't say anything, leave him
Yeah.
alone. Talk smack to him when he's nice and normal.
Yeah.
Don't please don't. And it would
Did your
end up
dad, did he ever try to get clean?
many times, many times.
Did he
But
stay
I
clean or did he just fall back?
no, no. I really think that's what ended up killing him. He didn't like die of an overdose or anything like that. But I think that just all the drugs and the life that he led is what led his body to just shut down at, I think he was 55 when he passed.
He was young.
So no, he never stayed clean. Um, and my mom finally left, and I was beyond happy because I knew they shouldn't be together.
Mm.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah. And you were like the only child left behind
I
to
was the, right. I was the only child. I am the
make
only child.
arrangements and
Oh yeah,
put
when
him
my
to
dad passed
rest.
away, it was all on me.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's another reason why when my mom got into her other relationship, I really wanted a sibling. Because I was like, what if I'm the only child? You know, by the time my dad passed away, my brother, his other son, had passed away before him. And that's another story. Um, but I never wanted to deal with something alone.
Do you think that affected your life overall, like as far as drugs? Because I remember when we were teenagers, we've known each other for years
A
now.
long time.
We actually just grew up together because we met at
Yeah,
like 19,
we were
up
18.
until now, or 18.
Yeah,
And what was I going to say?
we did all the adolescent
We did
mischief
all the
together.
things, all the drinking, and you hardly ever drank. I drank like a lot all the time. And then,
My chihuahua.
yeah, and then weed, I think I'm the one that pushed it on you. And like, it's just weird because I don't have parents that have a drug addiction. I mean, I remember smoking weed once outside of my house, and my mom was like, "What is that?" And I lied to her because she is so innocent, thought that whatever I said was true. And I said, "Oh, these are just cloves. They're not. It's not. You know."
Cloves. I remember cloves. It affected me. So this is a theory I have about being neurospicy and not getting help. I from the stories that I've been told about my dad growing up, I really believe my dad had ADHD. Like but turbo mode ADHD. Like he could never sit still. Even what I remember, he could never sit still. Um and he was a genius, guys. My dad was a mathematician. There's nothing my dad didn't know about. I remember going, visiting him on the weekends when I was in high school. I suck at math. Horrible. Like I don't have that neuron that captures formulas and
You don't have
pentas,
that.
and
You don't have that Aztec blood.
I don't. Like I could never engineer anything. I'm good at everything else. Straight A student and
Well, you
everything
know
else.
what they say about genius and lunacy. It's just a fine line.
It is. And my dad would do my algebra geometry homework. He got me an A in geometry.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cheater.
he would do it all. I mean, sorry.
Don't you
You
wish
guys
he was
can't
still
say.
alive now when you're like actually going through it again and you could be like, here, Dad, here's some homework.
I actually got a
Mm-hmm.
B in statistics, guys, by
Did
myself. Oh,
you?
I went to school. I went
Oh,
back to school to finish my degree,
yeah,
and I
that's
got
the
a
other
B in
thing.
statistics. I was beaten up by Chunk Chunk because she's a genius. And again, I think it's an ADHD thing because
Well,
Chunk
yeah, there's
is
different
a
ways of learning,
genius
but
in math,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Yeah,
she
that's
was,
their strength for sure.
it's like, dude, where'd
Yeah.
you get that from? So anyway,
Well, it obviously skipped you.
oh, 100%.
So,
So
yeah.
anyway, my dad, I think he had turbo ADHD along other stuff. My dad's side of the family does have mental disorders. There's like schizophrenia. There's stuff on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think had science been advanced enough to understand what ADHD was when he was younger, I mean it wasn't a thing. You just saw a kid that would bounce off the walls and be like, "Ah, ese chamaco es un niño travieso,
Mm-hmm.
Well, back
malcriado."
then, yeah, there was
Yeah.
nothing to categorize you
Nobody talked about
because
ADHD, at least when we were growing up.
No, it
no,
Like,
wasn't a
there's
not a
thing.
thing.
no
Yeah.
no
It
such
wasn't a
thing. So
thing.
now
No,
that
it wasn't a
everyone's like saying, "Oh, I have a little bit of ADHD," or "My kid is," and it's like, "Oh, now it's a thing," and it's like,
right.
no, it's always been a
No, it's
thing. It
been a
just
thing.
didn't
It's
have a
Yeah.
been a thing,
name.
yeah.
for
Yeah, it's
it.
been a thing. So I think that my dad, in order to calm his brain,
Yeah.
he went further. Like, I think, I believe my siblings have ADHD. Well, the little one definitely has ADHD. And he's very much a naturalist. So he micro doses and he, does the natural, you guys know, natural
Okay.
therapies. And I
Yes.
really think that that has helped him tremendously.
Yeah, I think I've
Tremendously.
heard Liam say when he does his herbal thing that it just kind of quiets him and
It
slows his
quiets it.
brain. Because
My
when you have ADHD, as far as I have been taught by my ADHD person here, is there's just a lot of noise and it's ongoing and you can't sleep. And so
Yes.
and so he can see how some people would go into drugs or drinking just to like slow it
Slow it,
down
like
or
shut it down.
quiet the mind. And also there's also other things at play, like just having an addictive personality. Like, people with OCD are also more inclined, I don't know if you guys knew that, to
She knows I'm pointing at her.
having addictions.
It's
So,
quite like,
and they
yeah.
don't have to be bad addictions. They don't have to be like drug addictions. They can be like other miniature addictions. Like, I'm currently addicted to buying stupid little toys that you put together, and I don't, I just put them in a box because what am I going to do?
By the way, I have your Lego Rose thing.
Yeah.
Not sure you're gonna get it back because Sophia really likes it. Because again, she loves those things
No, she can
too.
have it. I don't care.
So she's like, "Oh my god, mom, this is a Lego Rose thing," and I'm like, "A flower vase
A
thing." And I'm like,
bouquet?
"Yeah." I'm like, "It's
You guys,
Yeah,
I don't.
it's a little
Yeah,
yeah, they're
pricey,
it's
but
crazy.
expensive."
they're cute.
So
So,
in going back into what you said about the whole addiction thing, oh, that's definitely in my family, and it's with me. I feel like I was addicted to food. I didn't have the drug addiction. I was always terrified of becoming what my dad became. And I also realized every time I had any kind of surgery or dental procedure, they always needed to do more for me. So that just told me my system can handle some stuff. Like if you have to go more, like you have to give me more anesthesia, more lidocaine, because my system just absorbs it. I got that from my dad. So I was terrified when you brought up the whole when you guys had me smoke herbal medicines with you guys back in the day. Granted, we were 18, we were young, and I'm not against it at all, like at all. I see the
but
benefits of it,
so yeah, do you
but
think
it did
so you were
nothing.
definitely kind of afraid of, yeah, I know. I
Yes.
remember even drinking. It would take you a while before you actually had any like loopiness going on. But
Yeah, it did nothing.
you have a high
Herbal stuff,
tolerance for substances.
herbal stuff does nothing for me. Now, the
Yeah.
only thing that has done stuff to me that's herbal, that when I have problems, I mean, this has been a few years now. When I've had problems sleeping because of perimenopause, we'll talk about that later.
That's a whole
Is
other subject.
microdosing gummies. Nothing has helped me other than that to be able to sleep.
And this is where we insert the microdosing company to sponsor us.
Yes, but we're not going to say who it is until
So,
you guys sponsor us.
so
Um,
was your dad the only one in his family with the addiction with like drugs, and
no,
there's
there's a
other?
cousin there. There's a cousin there as well. I, I have family members on the Chiquiruca, so I don't want to out anybody.
Yeah.
But there's that I can recall too. One of them was drugs, and another one I believe was alcohol. I think this other family member has.
So yeah, it's something that's just
Oh yeah,
familial,
we have
right?
addictive personalities. I yo-yo. I mean, you've seen me every size. I've yo-yoed my whole life. I had an addiction to food. And I don't know if it was really an addiction or if it was me trying to go against my mom
I think it was
because
a lot of
she
everything
wouldn't
when
let me eat.
yeah, you're soothing also. I mean, food
Yes,
does a
that
lot
too.
of that too.
It makes me feel good.
And yeah, people
Not
people
anymore,
use
but
it a
it
lot,
did.
and yeah, and so it's easy to be addicted to food.
Yeah.
But
But yeah.
Jennifer, did you want to share your experience?
Yeah. Oh, so very similar to you, Tamara. So my parent struggled, with addiction for most of my childhood. And I think that, that instability, it really shaped my view of safety and trust in others. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of dysfunction. I was very young when I guess, was introduced to the fact that my parent had this addiction. And so as a kid, I think you touched on this, Mara, that like you don't really know what it is, right? You don't understand it. And so that whole way of life became my norm. The chaos, the dysfunction, the instability, the just kind of like walking on eggshells. Like I feel now as an adult looking back that I spent a lot of my life suppressing my emotions, which I think I still do a lot.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. I also have such I don't know if it's fear, maybe it is, but I don't like conflict. And I think that stems from the experience that I had with, growing up with this parent that was addicted to drugs. And then, you know, it also has influenced my decisions on the people that I've like dated. And I just learned this during my, separation. I remember sitting in a therapy session when I had just, separated and all of that. So angry at myself for waiting so long to leave because I knew like years prior to when I actually moved or left that I was gonna leave. Like this was not gonna work for me. And I was so upset. Like, why did I wait so long? And my therapist said something to me that, I mean, actually, it made a lot of sense. And she said, first of all, like, don't beat yourself up because of this. She said, the thing is that your life and your upbringing was so chaotic that it became your norm. And so
Mm-hmm.
your marriage was no different. That was your norm. That was all that you knew.
Mm-hmm.
So it really, I just had a pause and that made a lot of sense because that was all that I knew. It was always chaotic. There was always dysfunction. I never felt like a sense of being supported. I mean, there's so many layers to how I lived life with my parent, addictions. I built a lot
It's
of
like an
trust.
onion. You just peel
Yeah,
back.
yeah. And it's not, I mean, it's things that I still work on, but I feel like I'm in such a better space now at 51. Um, I feel like, the addictions played such a huge role on my like emotional development, on just ways that I
Life's choices.
communicate. Yeah, my relationships, trust. I mean, there's just so many things. And so I've also gained a lot of empathy for people that also might have gone through this. I feel like, I don't think that this is talked about a lot. And I feel like, just in my opinion, I feel like society doesn't give a lot of support to especially kids in this area. Yeah, so I think I mentioned in our last podcast that like I had to distance myself from people, and my parent was one of them, because I couldn't continue. I realized that I didn't have control over them and how they responded or reacted, or the things that they would say, or how their actions played such a huge role in how it was making me feel. And so I just realized that I only had control over me and my own actions. And so I had to distance myself, because I wasn't going
Yeah.
to, you know, continue to live the next 50 with a lot of anxiety, because I did develop a lot of anxiety over the course of the years. I think I also touched before on like just doing things to please. I'm even to this day, I'm a people pleaser. And I think that I learned that as a way of acceptance, because everything I always did was wrong in their eyes. Everything was, always my fault. And to some degree, it's also been one of my strengths. I I'm very OCD, I think, because of this whole experience too. But it's worked so well in my favor in my work. Like I excel. It's been such a great, thing for me. So, yeah, I mean, we can probably talk about this for hours, because there's just so much I feel like that we should talk about, I just yeah, I think it's I've never tried any sort of drug, and I think that's my experience was the reason. I saw a lot of things that I think as I grew older, I knew like, okay, that's not ever anything that I want to experience. Near death situations, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely their
Was
addiction
your
has.
parent, I'm sorry,
No,
was
that's
your
okay.
parent already an addict before you came along, or was it
I think
something that
so.
came
Yeah,
later?
I think so. I honestly have never even asked like if they were on drugs or anything like that before, but I kind of feel like yes. And I remember, and there was multiple relapses. So that was the other thing too. Like as I got older and I started to really understand that, wait a minute, this is not my fault. All of the stuff that's happening is not my fault, when they always
Mm-hmm.
blamed me for most of the stuff that was happening in life. I also gained a lot of resentment, because I thought, I feel that addiction is, it's not anything that people grow up to say, oh, when I get older, like I want to be an addict, right? So it's definitely an illness. But I feel that when you relapse, now it's a choice, because you know you are now, in my view anyway, you're now choosing to go back to doing drugs. And so yeah, so there were multiple relapses, and so I just, I built a lot of resentment and anger around that.
So you had no time where they were like clean for like months and or
Yeah, I
even
mean,
a
don't get me
year?
wrong. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
51, and honestly, this is going to be hard to say, but I think it's important that I recently actually just shared with someone that I don't really know my parent sober. And that's not to say,
Mm.
though, that they were never clean for a long period of time. They were. But, it just never stuck. And
All
so,
the addiction overshadowed the recovery.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When they were clean,
Mm-hmm.
were they really clean? Or did they not do the hard stuff but still did the
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's
They
a
were
very good
they were what
I
they
question.
always
call
Probably.
California clean.
Right.
right and I always wondered that too with
Mm-hmm.
my parent, like thinking back, like was my dad when he was clean normal? I mean, my
Yeah.
dad didn't do it every day. It wasn't an everyday thing from what I remember.
Yeah. And then, like, how do you define clean? I mean, honestly, like, is it
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
clean? Does that mean alcohol? Does that mean I don't honestly I don't know. So yeah, that's a very
From
good
addicts
question.
that
I was
Yeah.
curious about that
No, that's a good
because
heard,
that's a good question.
I don't know.
it's
Yeah.
clean is clean. Clean is like no alcohol, no
Nothing.
weed,
Right.
no
Yeah.
nothing. Like maybe
Yeah.
Then
just
I guess
cigarettes and
my
coffee.
dad was. Then I don't think my dad was ever clean.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
with that, yeah, I would have to say the same. I don't think so. Listen, I mean, I don't know. I I also felt like, you know, I mean, I know people that, smoke weed and that kind of thing, and it doesn't bother me. I feel like if you are able to control it and not allow it to control you, I feel like there's such a difference. And I think that a lot of my anger stemmed from the fact that they just had no control over it. I mean, it was, all in, and it was like it would get really bad. So, yeah, so I you know, I don't know, it was just really things that I try to just now appreciate that I never went down that path. I mean, because I guess statistically, like, I should have
Yeah.
followed in the footsteps, right? But I didn't. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I now have so much empathy for others who are kind of dealing with it, with family members. I've gone to Al Anon. I've
Oh,
really,
have you?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I didn't understand. There was a lot of guilt put on me for things that were happening. And so it's like,
Because it's always
to
somebody
carry
else's
that.
fault, especially when you're
Exactly.
in the
Right.
thralls of addiction.
Yep.
It's never their fault. It's always
Exactly.
somebody else's fault.
Yeah. So I really had to, kind of learn and
So this
figure it out.
parent is still very much an addict.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Well, she doesn't really speak to that
So,
parent, so she really doesn't know.
right. My assumption would be yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah. And I think they became like a, what do they call them? The functioning addicts, or,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, that's really sad because they're
So,
missing out on a great daughter. So
yeah, well, yeah. So, you know, it's like I say now, what do you live and learn, and what do you do?
See, it really it feels like it affected you a lot more than it did me.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it could. I don't know why. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it's because I think you and I are very similar
Mm-hmm.
in our ticks and
Mm-hmm.
our
and you guys
OCDness
both grew up
sometimes.
basically only children. Even though Tamara has siblings, you
Yeah,
were an only child
yeah. I
because
was an
you
only child until I was 14, and then my older brother didn't live with us. It was the typical on vacation, summer, like that's when I would see him. It's not
weekends
the same.
only.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have full-time siblings until I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I was an only child till I was 14, but I just feel listening to Jen's story and how her parent has affected her, I feel like it affected you more than me.
And
But I think
honestly,
it could be that you didn't have the
I
nurturing part
think
of that parent.
no, and I was
I
just
think
gonna
it
I
say
did.
that. I
was
was just gonna say that exactly. I didn't. And you talked a lot about how amazing your dad was and the relationship that you had
Oh,
with him. Yeah, I didn't have that experience, right? So,
yeah.
and I was gonna say something else. Of course, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I think that definitely has played a huge role in how it affected me differently, than you, for sure.
Yeah, cuz I'm my heart is break. We have the same exact story. Well, not exactly the same exact story, but extremely similar. But
Mm-hmm.
my heart is breaking for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the most empathetic person. I'm sometimes even victim
she's
blamer. I mean,
I
not.
know.
I'm not.
She's
I'm
I mean,
sometimes the
she's
victim blamer.
friendly as
I'm a
hell.
typical January Capricorn, guys.
She'll see
I'm
somebody that
just
needs like a little treat, and she's like, "Hey, can I buy you something?" Like that's the empathy that she gives. When she,
yes. I will always
if
buy
you
a
come
homeless
to
person
her
drink.
crying and complaining about
I don't
something,
know what to
she's
do with
always
you if
like,
you're
"You're
crying.
crazy."
right. Right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's just
My
you.
empathy is very conditional, and I don't know why. And
It's
it could be,
it's not conditional. Oh, you're
Right.
I am. Um, the emotional component.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was gonna say that I didn't know any of this stuff until now as an adult, right? Like I didn't connect the dots that the people that I
because
was
you weren't
choosing in
trying
my
to connect
life.
dots. You were just trying to get on with your life.
Yeah.
Wait, so you didn't
Yeah.
know your parent had this going on all that time?
No, no, no.
Oh,
No, what I'm saying is I didn't know how my emotional side of me was impacted by my upbringing, basically. Like,
okay.
yeah, so that whole thing about me being upset at myself for leaving so late in this, situation, I wasn't connecting the dots that it stems from like how I was brought up. So, me suppressing emotions, like the anxiety, like the people pleasing, all of those things were connected to how I was brought up.
Do you feel like that people pleasing came from you when that parent was in the throes of it and you had to be a good person and please because they were just unruly?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, without a doubt, it was, I had to do that to get like acceptance. And, as a kid thinking now, it's like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I feel,
Yeah, and
yeah,
when you're
like,
an addict, I imagine that you are not accepting or nurturing your children. You're nurturing the addiction.
right. Yeah. And I was just saying the other day to someone that I remember, like even as young as kindergarten, like getting myself up, getting myself dressed, like walking myself to school, like all these things that I so feared for like my kid. Like you're not walking even across the street by yourself, like that kind of thing. So yeah, it definitely has played a huge role in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you think the other parent compensated for that addiction?
So, my other parent also had some addictions, not as
Oh,
bad,
okay.
but, and I actually have a better relationship with them than I did with the other. And then, I mean, I also was raised in a broken home. So, my parents
Mm.
were not together. I would say maybe around the age of 8 or 9, they split. And so, so
Oh,
then I had
You
same.
were
that.
between houses?
Not all the time because, one of them didn't want me to have a relationship. It seemed like now as an adult looking back with all of the stuff that had happened, it didn't seem like they wanted me to have that relationship. And so I didn't have a lot of access to my other parent. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So you had to
Yeah.
stay with the parent with the addiction for the most
Yep.
part? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that must have been very.
Kudos to you for surviving the fact that you stayed for most of your childhood, maybe adolescence, with the parent that had the issues. I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't think I had
Once
a
my
I
parents,
didn't have a choice. I
Yeah.
mean, I just did what I was told, whether I liked
yeah.
the situation or not, right? I didn't have a choice. It's like this is your choice, and that was it. Yeah.
Did
Was
you?
there a time? Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry.
Was there a time when you did have a choice?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So I think I was 13 or 14. I was finally able to have a voice to say, I want to live with the other parent.
With the other parent. That's great.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. Did so while you were living with the parent with the actual active addiction, did you ever have CPS involved?
No. No, not that I remember.
No.
Yeah,
No.
no.
Wow. That's crazy. Do you think that you would have fared better if you went to a foster care or
No.
foster home?
I don't know. I think so. A lot of my family, who I actually have a lot of support from now, I feel had they known about it, they might have intervened and it might have been a little different for me, in a positive way. So I think there was a lot of, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think, so yeah, I don't, I don't know. That's a good question I never really thought of. But I think, look, hey, I'm here.
You
I
survived.
survived, exactly. And so
And you're doing so much better than
I,
what was given to you.
yeah, and so I feel like, we have choices. I mean, I remember, sorry, I keep thinking of all this stuff. I remember sitting in one of the what do you call them, like the sober living places, and we had like a family session, and I remember sitting across from this other teen who was just, I mean, going off on their parent about how now their addiction is their fault, and it's, you fucked me up and you this and you that. And I remember sitting there thinking, no, like it's not, because it's a choice. And I don't know. I could be wrong in that thinking, but that's how I've always felt. Like I had a choice. And obviously, thankfully, I didn't fall into that, path. And when I was able to really understand addiction, I chose like a different path. And so you know, I was very like upset at that other person for blaming their parent for now their problem that they were having, because I don't feel that that's just how it goes. I think we have a
I
choice.
think people who get addicted are just trying to find a way to deal with life. And sometimes they
Yeah.
don't all know how to do it,
Yeah.
sober like us.
Right.
I was
And
gonna say that. I think it has to do
life
with
is
mental
hard. It
It
strength.
is. Oh my God, it
sucks.
I think
is.
it has to do with mental
And
strength.
Yeah.
my mom, like, she was a single parent her entire life. Yeah, there was a dad, but was he involved? No. I mean, he was like, my dad's addiction was drinking and gambling. Like, every payday, he would go sit in the back with his uncles and his cousins, and they would play poker until, like, he lost everything and he had nothing left, which was like, 3 hours later. And he'd come home drunk and upset that he lost the money. And sometimes he'd be like, hey, can you go ask so and so to lend us some rent money? And there was always, stress because money.
Right.
And that wasn't her fault. She was made to stay home, stay pregnant and barefoot, taking care of kids. And I remember having this conversation with her one day where I was like, hey, mom, do you know, like she had cancer. She died from cancer. And I would ask her, hey, if you don't like lorazepam, let's try weed. Like, let's do an edible and see. And she's like, yo no quiero esas cochinadas. ¿Qué son eso? ¿Qué es eso? She's like, me vas a convertir en una marihuana. And I was like, lady, this is probably better than lorazepam. Like,
Yeah.
tú eres una pinche herbalista, te gusta lo natural, siempre vas con, las pinches, ¿cómo se dicen?
The curanderas.
Las curanderas, yeah. I said, y te haces el huevo de limpiar y te tomas el té de me vale madre or whatever you call it. Pero no quieres marihuana. I said, también eso es hierba, no es droga. No te estoy ofreciendo meth or cocaine or nada de eso. And I asked her one day, like, ¿cómo le hiciste para tener tantos hijos? Criar año tras año por, I think, 30 años, cuidando niños y soportando adolescentes, y nunca te dio ganas de tomarte una cervecita, un vino, una tequila para relajarte. She's like, no, yo no soy así. A mí no me gusta eso y que no sé qué, bla, bla. ¿Para qué? ¿Para qué? Si no me va a servir de nada, todavía voy a despertar en la misma chingadera, So I don't know. I admired her for like not taking the easy way out because addiction I think begins with, okay, well let me try this because I need to chill. Like beer isn't doing it, weed isn't doing it. Like let me just, whatever. And some people
Yeah.
just out of
And
pure
and like
curiosity.
yeah, I mean, and like I said, and I'll say before that, I do believe that it's an illness, right? Like I said, people don't grow up saying, "Hey, when I grow up, I want to be an addict." But I feel too that, especially around the relapses. I mean, my parent relapsed. I want to say that I could remember an easy 10 times. So that was 10 times of the whole process all over again with, going into rehab, me having to move because obviously I was a minor and, that whole thing. And I remember they almost burned their house down in one instance. So, obviously people don't like grow up and say, hey, no, no, I
Okay.
did not. I mean, being taken away like in an ambulance, yes, but
Oh,
not,
really?
but not arrested. No.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
that's interesting.
all of that. So like I said, all of that's traumatic, right? All of it, it's like you're a kid. I remember gosh, maybe I was in the second or third grade and the ambulance came and things because, they were unconscious and stuff. And so being there, the only one, like watching your parent go through that as a kid, like it's pretty freaky. And so I remember like weeks later, I was taken to the fire station to have lunch with the team that had come, kind of as a way to show like, hey, we're I guess, safe, and just to make it like a more positive thing. I remember that. So that was, I guess comforting in a sense, to know
Yeah.
that they were there to help. And because you don't understand as a kid, especially what age is second grade, like 8, 9 years old, I don't know. So that, yeah,
It's a baby.
it's yeah.
Tamara, iPad maybe? Sorry, you were saying, Jen.
No, nothing. So someone had asked once if I thought that the experience had shaped my view of mental health, and I absolutely think that it has. Undoubtedly. Do you think the same, Mara? Your experience, like, has it
I'm
shaped?
I,
Yeah.
I'm perfect. I have perfect mental health. What are you talking about?
Your view on it, not your view of your own, because obviously yours is skewed.
I'm a
Exactly.
narcissist. It's
Your
about
view
me all
on
the
it.
time.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
I had a very different experience. I don't think, other than the DV
I
that I
think,
blamed my mom for, I don't
yeah,
feel like it affected me. Other than I don't want to be like that, so let
because
me.
you didn't grow up with the parent with the problem.
No,
You're,
I didn't.
and that parent, I'm sure he never, after your parents split up, I'm sure he never showed up
No,
or picked you up all messed up. I'm sure
no.
he was like
Once,
perfectly
right.
sober, planned on staying sober for the day.
Yeah, when I would be there on the weekends, I mean, if he did it during the nighttime when I was asleep or something, like I didn't see it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And that's different because when you live with the parent that has the addiction and you have no
yeah,
choice, you see all of the nitty gritty and the ugliness of it, like the whole
right.
thing. Like yours was edited. So
It was.
your view on it is a little bit skewed, and yeah, you still have empathy for people who have addicts in their family and
I
even
do.
parent. But I think that Jennifer's story is a lot more compelling only because, she was there for everything.
Yeah. Oh no, I. Yeah, I definitely,
And your
I
dad
feel,
never blamed you for anything or never for
no, I
like
was
just
perfect. I was, in his eyes, I was perfect. I was a
yeah.
princess.
He
Like
treated you
I,
like you were magic.
I was, yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like with Jennifer, I just feel horrific for her because it's like, you really were impacted emotionally, mentally. Like you, wow.
And it's just to me it's um I don't know. It's not sad, but it's kind of like an like to me frustrating to know that like it's taken you 51 years because you had so much going on that
Mm-hmm.
all you tried to do was get through life and not
Yep.
unpack the trauma.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's like again, we're putting ourselves last. We're just waiting for the right moment to start doing something for ourselves
Yep.
before, you know, making sure that everyone else is okay and that everyone else has what they need. And that's
Mm-hmm.
been our entire life.
Yep. No,
And
absolutely. And
I
I
think,
honestly, I feel like, turning 50 really helped me to once and for all say I was going to start to put myself first. So now I'm like, I don't know if I didn't, if I wasn't turning like a milestone age, would I have still had that mentality? I don't know. But yeah, we're always putting
Uh,
ourselves last.
yeah, we are. So we're just going to do what we have to do for us. But
Right.
I think for you, it basically kind of amounted to that at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
especially now that your daughter's older and she's
Mm-hmm.
not living with you or
Mm-hmm.
she's off
you're
in
not having
college.
yeah she's gone doing her thing living her life and you know you don't have to worry about the husband
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
who the hell cares, right?
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's the basically the peak that you had to achieve
Mm-hmm.
to come to that conclusion.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you would have had to wait till you were this age to get to
Mm-hmm.
come to that conclusion. I think
Mm-hmm.
that if you had left your husband a lot sooner, it
Mm-hmm.
probably would have been a lot sooner for you, like
Yeah.
to come to that realization that your decisions and the things that you choose and all that were based on how addiction has affected you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Maura, what do you wish more people understood about having a parent with addiction? Like now.
God, that is a good question, and I don't know because again, like Veronica stated, I wasn't in it like you. So,
Yeah.
and my other than obviously you want to have a parent that's there for you 100%. That's all I ever craved, to have a family,
Mm-hmm.
like a complete, what I thought was a complete family, like my dad, my mom.
Right.
Um, and that didn't happen because of that.
Well, and I
But
think,
again,
yeah.
my view is skewed compared to someone that actually had to live it 24/7 with the
Mm-hmm.
parent that had the problem. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
My family, my grandmother, which is the love of my life, obviously next to my children and my brothers. That's my that's the love of my life. She was there. She lived there. That's my dad's mom, and she shielded me from it as well. So I think I had a lot more of a village around me, so that it maybe didn't affect me as much as, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you have a village, but did you have it at that moment? I don't think so, because maybe
Well,
not
because
everyone
nobody,
knew.
right? Nobody knew.
Right, no
Mm-hmm.
one knew.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the people, like, I had my grandma, I had
Mm-hmm.
my aunt, which is my dad's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they would take me out of the situation for a weekend if things were. Do you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
had a lot of.
You
That's one thing that I would like to change about myself, is that I'm very content being by myself with my children. Like, I don't reach out. I don't. because I don't like to bug people because I know how busy life is. But I should. That's something I need to change and look out for family. Do you know what I'm saying? But anyway, going back to, I don't
Mhm.
know how to answer that question because I was shielded from a lot of it where you were not.
Mm-hmm.
You were in the nitty gritty of it. So what would you say? You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, I would definitely want people to understand that they're not alone. I think that there might be so many people that are suffering in silence that we don't even know about, right? Because they don't understand it, or maybe because they feel there's no help or hope or lack of resources, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also too, whether it's culturally or not, maybe they just don't think it's okay to talk about. When I wish that
Yeah.
people would understand that it is okay to talk about these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you might help.
It
Yeah.
yeah.
So that would be my wish that
I
people.
think the new generations,
Mm-hmm.
that's changed. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's easier for people to talk about those issues. But back then it was taboo. Like you don't, especially in
Yeah. You don't talk
Mexican
about your traumas. You don't talk about
No.
your uncle with
anything.
schizophrenia. You don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about because,
Yeah.
nobody needs to know your business. Nobody needs to know your life. And yeah, to me I was taught like, you don't let people in because you don't know what they're going to do with that information. You don't know who they're talking to and how it's going to affect you or us, and just, you know, protect protecting that family unit.
You guys have not brought that into your lives now. For example, no one other than like you guys or my fiance, and even then, like even my mom, like I don't tell people my problems. Like if something's happening financially or with one of the girls or whatever it may be, just
You
family
have a hard time
problems.
sharing?
I don't like anybody knowing my business, and I've noticed that is a mental fuck because you do need someone to talk to sometimes to
Yes, you
like,
Mm-hmm.
do.
and
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to do that.
Why do you
I
think that is,
So,
hate.
though? Why do you think that you
I
struggle
think
with that?
because I struggle with it, and I think it's because I feel like I was my mom's guinea pig. I was the first child, so and my mom was 18. My mom, I feel like me and my mom, and again, it's going back to my mom, which is sucks because it's not her fault. But I think as the first daughters, we're their guinea pigs. They're not going to be that perfect parent, and then you see the way they are with your younger siblings, and every sibling gets a different parent. When it comes to your mom or the caregiver, every parent,
mhm,
every child gets a different parent. My mom was very different from me with Alex and then with
mhm,
Chris. Chris is her baby. Like that's her baby.
mhm,
My mom loves us all, but there is a different relationship, and I see that with my daughters. There is a
mhm,
different relationship. Um, Having said that, I had to deal with a lot of stuff on my own. My mom now is different, but back then was you don't have anything to cry about. Like you have a roof
mhm.
over your head. Like you cannot have any
Yeah,
emotions. You're depressed, go clean the
because she
bathroom.
was busy
Like,
trying to plow through life too.
Yeah,
right.
I
Again,
mean,
as an adult, I
so,
realize that.
Yeah.
As an adult, I know that now. But I think because I held all of my emotions in for so long because I wasn't allowed to have any, because buck up, life goes on, no one cares. I can't do it, you know? And my
Well,
fiance gets upset at me because I don't divulge a lot of information. He's like, just
we're
recently I
gonna
was
do
like,
it right here on this podcast, and everyone
well,
else
this
is
is
gonna
my
know what
I
you're
therapy
saying.
because
know.
this is
So,
my therapy because I'm okay talking about it
get
like this
ready to
because
be therapized,
Right?
you know,
You
in
about to
public.
open up.
No,
Yeah,
and I'm okay opening up like this in this kind of forum because I see that we
because you're
all have gone through the
escandalosa.
same,
Mm-hmm.
huh?
Because you're an escandalosa.
That too, but no, it's because I see like I'm not the only one that went through this. I'm not the only
No,
one that has
no,
these
yeah,
issues. It's
and
all other
and
firstborn
like
daughters.
our current topic, parents with addiction, you have a different view than Jennifer
Then
does,
Jen,
and it's interesting how it's affected both of you. Your
differently.
yeah, how you grew up. So Jennifer, I wanted to ask, because no one knew that this parent was an addict. Does that mean that their family wasn't involved in your life as much as like
No,
they seem
no.
to be now?
Everybody was involved. It just they masked it. They masked it pretty
So
well.
you think they knew and they just didn't talk about it?
Oh, I don't think they knew. I don't think that anybody
Do
knew.
they
And
know now?
if they did, they just kind of turned the cheek to it.
Oh,
But I
they
honestly,
ignored it.
yeah, I mean, I've always believed wholeheartedly that nobody knew. But who knows? You know, who knows? Maybe it was that where they knew and no one's supposed
You
to
don't
talk
talk
about
about
it.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoping that it'll go away by itself.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But
Fun times.
right? Fun times.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thamara, you're okay. Thank you for listening, and we will
Yep.
see you next time with
Good work,
another
ladies.
episode.
That was deep.
Thank you. Good work.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening.
Bye.
Bye.